Coming up on Mountain News this morning, rain continues to plague the Commonwealth while emergency crews wait on standby to help save the day. And a new bill wants Kentucky to provide homeless shelters in every county.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Thursday to you, Mountain family. My name is Amelia Lee here with you on this February 13th at 4:59, just about 5 o'clock. It's also time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal. Megan, I feel like we can call today Valentine's Day Eve since that day is just right around the corner. But we can also ask you what's going on with our weather today.
Well, it seems like, the weather knows that holiday is right around the corner. We're starting to get better as we're going through this Valentine's Day Eve and into Valentine's Day. Now, we do have that rain this morning, but it's tapering off, leaving us a nice little break for most of today and tomorrow. Now, as you are heading out the door, though, you do have to be aware that there is some fog in the area. I know when I was driving in this morning, I encountered some pretty dense fog. So that will be your first alert for today. Really make sure you're driving safe on the roads, not only for the fog, but also because there could still be standing water and puddles on some roadways. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar right now. Really just seeing rain as you're heading more towards the north. Now, this will continue to taper out as you're going throughout your day. There's some good news there. Here are those current temperatures. This is the warmest that you'll see those temperatures today. We'll see them continue to drop and drop throughout the next couple hours, seeing the upper 40s and 50 degrees for some areas, 55 in Harlan. Again, for the rest of the day, you'll see those temperatures drop. By the time you're heading into the afternoon, we are looking at much colder temperatures in the upper 30s. Amelia?
All right, thank you, Megan. Well, officials in Lee County are closely monitoring the Kentucky River as water levels were already high last night. With more rain in the forecast, people in flood-prone areas like Beattyville are staying alert. Lee County Emergency Management tells us this is nothing new for the region, and they're prepared to help people if they are needed.
Beattyville is the Three Forks of the Kentucky River, start right here. It's nothing new for us, because obviously, we're going to have some high water, possibly over some roadways.
Experts remind drivers if you are out on the roads and come across some high water, turn around, don't drown, and do your best to remain weather aware. Students in some Kentucky school districts stayed home again yesterday in Knox County, and that's because of high water. The county used all its non-traditional instruction days. Everything missed from here on out will have to be made up. Before any days were missed, the last day of school was to be May 19th. It's now unclear when that day will be at this point. A new bill proposes every Kentucky county should have an emergency houseless shelter. We saw the need for warm places like these last month when temperatures dropped dangerously low. Grayson Passmore spoke to those with a homeless coalition who says this legislation is only a small part of addressing the state's crisis.
You may see them called white flag or emergency shelters. They're meant to be temporary spaces open to people experiencing homelessness for whatever reason, including the dangerously cold temperatures we saw last month.
Two of them, a couple that was literally couldn't afford fuel in their home. They had a home. They was gone as soon as the weather got back together. And so these wasn't people that we was servicing daily beforehand. These was people that needed a break.
Lexington Representative George Brown Jr. and Shively Representative Beverly Chester Burton co-sponsored House Bill 299. It would require county officials to maintain at least one emergency shelter in their jurisdictions.
At its bare bones, I agree with it. I think there has to be, to provide long-term help, there has to be some pieces to that.
Johnny Tenplin runs the Jessamine County Homeless Coalition. He says the bill could be one part of addressing the homelessness crisis, but he doesn't think many counties can afford to operate them without some type of state funding.
But at the end of the day, the budgeting is not there for it.
Tenplin says a warm, safe place to rest could be the start at a better life for some.
But I truly believe that if the community's behind it, the community will provide that over time. At the end of the day, everybody needs some type of safe shelter.
In Jessamine County, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
The bill is still in its early stages in committee. Well, a bill to improve school safety is moving forward in the legislature. Landon's law would require anti-choking devices in schools. It's named after 8-year-old Landon McCubbins, who died in Nelson County in 2022. There was no life back there the day he choked. The bill passed in the House 92-5 yesterday, and it now moves to the Senate. There is a renewed push to protect public education in the Commonwealth. Protect Our Schools Kentucky relaunched on Wednesday in Frankfort with a new mission. They're calling on lawmakers to oppose any efforts that could cut funding to Kentucky's public schools. The Kentucky Department of Education predicting a $40 million deficit in state core funding for public schools for next school year. There's a shortage for this school year too, which could force districts to make cuts to their current budgets. Lawmakers and organizations across the Commonwealth are highlighting education, economic, and health policies most impacting Kentuckians. United Way Kentucky hosted Live United Day in Frankfort. The organization works to help people make ends meet and improve health outcomes. On Wednesday morning, they brought volunteers and staff to talk about policies that could help families across Kentucky. One of the things lawmakers say they're advocating for is paid family leave.
I think it's important for the women in our communities to feel like they're supported. We know it's going to provide better support for our kids. They're going to have better futures because of it, little by little. Sometimes it takes us a little while.
Governor Beshear joined the group to advocate. United Way Kentucky is also working to increase Kentuckians' financial stability. In Bell County, a circuit court judge signed an order taking away the death penalty as an option for Erica Lawson, the mother accused of killing her toddler. Lawson was indicted on murder and several other charges. Her 17-month-old daughter Elena died at an East Tennessee hospital in July of 2023. That same year, Kentucky lawmakers changed the eligibility for the death penalty. The murder of a child would have to be proven as intentional. Because of this, the judge ruled the case does not meet the requirements to warrant the death penalty. The man who caused a more than 5-hour standoff with London police and KSB's special response team was arraigned yesterday morning. 36-year-old Michael Caldwell is charged with assault and wanton endangerment. During his arraignment in Laurel County District Court, a judge detailed Caldwell's prior criminal history, noting he is a convicted felon. Judge John Paul Chappell appointed Caldwell a public defender.
Obviously, you're in serious trouble. I'm leaving the bond, as I previously said it, at $50,000 cash. I'm entering you a plea of not guilty.
A preliminary hearing was set for next Tuesday, February 18th. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, President Donald Trump is pushing for an end to the war in Ukraine, but is changing views from the previous administration.
And temperatures will continue to drop today and going into next week. I'll have more up next.